Hello and welcome, I'm Jay, and today we'll be giving some tips and tricks for Stalzone for newer players. So let's start off with the first one. The first one is use your welcome codes if you haven't. I'll put them in the description below. There are just a few in there. Also, there are quite a few creators that have been given codes. Sadly, I don't get given codes, so I can't give you one myself. But if you look up your favorite creators, there should be some codes in there that you can use to support them and to also get a nice little start to the game. So I highly recommend that. That's my first tip. Another tip that I recommend is always remember to use your bolts. If you press 5 on your keyboard, you have little bolts that you can throw. This will, of course, destroy like little electric anomalies here and other anomalies. And remember and try to memorize what ones you have. For example, this one here we have is a little jump one. So, for example, throw that out there, run, yay, and it just shoots you up in the air. So there's different ones. There's even ones that will, like, for example, suck you in. Those ones you just keep spamming sprint until you get out, and then you'll be good to go. But yeah, as you play the game, you will learn about all of these. Dying to them is completely normal, so do not think you're, oh, I'm so bad at the game. You're not. This is just the Stalzone life. The other thing about this is, as you go through the game, they have removed a lot more. There used to be a lot more on the map, especially the next area. So the swamps had quite a bit, but the roadside area here had so many more than there is now. There's barely any in roadside compared to the old days, back when it looked like a totally different game. So I highly recommend keep an eye out for those. It will save your life using this little bolt. Sometimes maybe if you don't notice, you can just spam this because you have infinite bolts. And that's just how it goes. Use this bolt, it will save you. As you play the game, you will learn where they all are because they don't really move around. They're just always in a locked position, and then you can just throw this like so and then run through. But there's multiple ones where if you throw it, it'll disperse it, and then there's a few where if you throw it, it'll just suck the bolt in. So that's how you know the difference, and probably the best way to explain it. Overall, good luck in the Stalzone, because I'll tell you this, they've even gotten me a few times. So what you just watched there too was me using one of those jump pads to jump across. While you play the game, you will learn the location of those. They will shoot you across the map and stuff, so they're very good at traversing the Stalzone. So I highly recommend try and memorize where they are. When you go through the zones, each area, you will learn where they are, so that way it will save you a ton of time. So here's another little tip. So if you're in your area, usually you will have these guys here. These guys will just run around and they will basically just walk around and patrol the area. They're on your side. And what you want to do is you can hang around them, or as you're running through, go on the main roads. And if you're lucky enough, you will see them start fighting opponents like this. So they've seen the balls, they're shooting at them. So what we'll do is, I can go over, use my melee weapon as I said. So, use this. There we go. Just beat you up. There we go. Come on, balls. I'm surprised they're not, coming in on me yet. Let's just do that a little bit more. Yeah, let's try it. We'll one hit each one, and we'll bring them over. Alright, let's bring them over. But these guys can help you shoot the little piggies and so forth. They can do a lot more than that. But, oh, they're gone. And that's the lesson I'm here to learn you. Don't trust the NPCs that walk down the road. The main reason I did that was because I had a funny feeling this might happen. So whenever you're walking down the road, you might see them and they're shooting and so forth. A lot of the time they just despawn. They despawn, they disappear. I call it dis-spawn because, they just disappear. But they'll disappear, and then this also means, let's say you saw some PvP enemies, went over to fight them to try drag them over, so you had your allies here fight them, they're gone, and now you're dead. So keep an eye on that, don't trust them. Another thing you can do is, I don't have any now, there was one earlier I saw, one of them died on a hill and I looted him, but usually when they die, look, they've despawned and they're redoing their route, as you can see. So that's another tip for you. But sometimes they will come across camps and all, and they will die, and they will drop their bag. Oh, here we go. This is their bag. That's it. And when they drop the bag, they will drop items that you need for crafting, like the swamp stone, and then the piece of rye bread here if you want it. So yeah, I recommend check them, and of course get the bags and so forth. When you get up to areas like I could show you now, when you get up to areas like the bar, whenever they die up there, because each side has their own patrol, sometimes your allies will die, all their bags will be on the ground, and you can loot them and get all your pickles and so forth. But yeah, just keep an eye on those road things. I never, see anyone giving this tip, all these tips that I've been giving, so I just want you to know that this is a very good one, and I highly recommend it, and for new players, you might not know about it. Did you see that? They vanished. Did you see it? I finally caught it on camera. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, another tip too is your healing. So whenever you have healing in your bag here, like so forth, you will have that. If you look at the bottom right, it is there beneath our little health bar. If you press the letter C, you will heal. So always remember that C is your life, because you don't want to be doing this, getting shot out, going into your actual bag, and then clicking, this and use, or shift right click, or, left click, whatever you're doing. Just make sure it'll always pick the best one in your bag and put that onto the bottom right screen. There are also buffs as well in the game, so we'll go back to base and have a chat about the buffs as well, because they're a little bit different. Oh, here, I'll show you now the healing. So let's go over to these little pig dens here. There we are. Let's just beat them all up with the old melee. Hit the heal button. There we go. As you can see, you kind of know when you're dying, because your screen goes very red. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just spamming the button. There you go. There you are. Look at that. Cleared a whole camp with a shovel. Who would have, who would have fought him? There we go. Let's see him. Let's see if he'll die. Oh, he's getting low. Boom. Oh, here we go. I'll kill this one, but I'll let the other one see if he'll kill him too. Come on. Oh, he actually destroyed him. But yeah, as you can see, there he is. Drops the swamp stone and some other stuff that's handy. So there you are. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I showed that on camera, because yeah, it's totally worth your time. So this is a very easy, and I think we all know it, but I'll leave it in the video. Go up to your repair guy. Yes, I've got something to fix. And always make sure you repair all of your equipment. The amount of times that I didn't repair my equipment when I first played the game, and I was running around with armor that just wasn't working. Your weapons, if they break, you're not going to be able to do anything. So always make sure you're repairing your weapons. The other thing that you need to be making sure of is, let's just go over here, selling items. Whenever you go here, come over to the merchants, and they will buy all of your items needed. You can sell and make your money that way. And then let's go over to our supplier. They're usually beside each other in each little town you're at. Through here, you can buy plating armor. So for example, I always run around with this usually. Oh, sorry about that, clicked the wrong button. But yeah, always make sure you have some plate equipped, because plate is going to help you through the zone and give you more protection. As you can see, damage absorption and durability, this is massive. So always make sure you equip this. You can shift left click or drop it in by dragging. Now we're going to go back to the supplier here. So each supplier will sell all sorts of things. As you continue through the game, more higher levels have more items you can purchase. So for example, bandages or stop bleeding. So these are a necessary thing you will need all the time through start of the game to end game. So always remember, bandages are very easily looted though, so you won't have to buy them much. Even if you do, they're super cheap. Next thing is breads and so forth. So there will be buffs. You can have one of these. So I'll show you here. I'll buy each one. There we go. And look at the bottom of the screen here. So we have one activated. We're going to activate it again and activate the next one. As you can see, it has deactivated the first one we use. You can only have one type of food and one type of drink, and this is my understanding. I wonder if I have any drink in here. Let me see. Do we have... here we go. and we have one little drink here as well. Let me drink that. If we look at the bottom right, as you can see, we have buffs. Now, the more you get into the end game, you'll be able to get more buffs and so forth, and different selections. So, you know, ones that will make your stamina more, blah, 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 all of that. But just remember that if you're constantly eating a lot of food thinking it'll stack, it does not stack. It actually deactivates the first one you used. So just keep that in mind. It's a tip that I don't think anyone really tells newer players, and you're just wasting buying all of them, using them when you could have saved them for another time. Now, my other tip as well for this Stalzone is your armor and weapons. Just slowly upgrade them as you go, because if you equip, let's say for example, you somehow were sent in the mail by someone a endgame piece of armor, an endgame weapon, and so forth, whenever you go out into the Stalzone, it will actually place you into higher end lobbies with players who all have endgame materials, endgame, you know, builds and endgame artifacts and so forth, and you will be farmed like crazy. You might think that it's a cool idea at the start of the game, let's just get one sent over and farm lower players and so forth. There's been a bit of a 50-50 on this, because the lobby system usually means you won't run into one, but I've been told by a few players in game that they ran into some people in the starting zone when they had green while the enemies had purples. But as you upgrade your armors, you put into new lobbies, and you're usually around people that'll be, you know, your level generally. So just keep that in mind. They don't tell you that in this game at all, but there are lobbies that are specifically made with basically armor ratings. So, you know, the higher armor you're going to be out in the zone with, the higher armored players you're going to run into. And trust me when I tell you this, new players that are abusing that and somehow, you know, killing the lower players, once they get into roadside or any, you know, higher areas, they will be dominated. The rest of the game will most likely be the most difficult part of the game they've ever played, because trust me, when you run into North Zone players and they're fully kitted out, they will absolutely destroy you, because a lot of players in endgame have thousands of hours, so they know all the builds, they know what weapons need, and yeah, trust me when I tell you this, they are very good at this game. Next, we're going to talk about weapons here. So as you can see, I have a little crowbar here, but we're going to go over to the merchant here, so let's just go over to him real quick. So each town that you're in, your base, you'll go to the merchant, and this is where you will find weapons and so forth. The first thing I will recommend is make a melee weapon. So when you're in the first base, you'll get this, but upgrade it and keep upgrading this, because once you get it to the end game, you will get this here, the kukre, and you'll get 7% movement speed while walking, running, crouching, and prone. That's a huge movement speed buff, so I highly recommend you do that. That is a must. Make sure you're upgrading that as you go. Another must is our scientist armor. Your scientist armor, whatever you start with, you're going to level it up as well, and just follow the tree. 100% you will need this, so it is 100% worth your time and a really good tip. Now for your combo and your combat armor, this is totally up to yourself. I'll tell you what I aim for, but it is totally up to yourself. I aim for Centurion for this one, and for the combo, I aim for the Scythian 5. Now, you don't have to do this. It is up to you. If you do want to look more into stats and so forth, if you go onto the tree, this is very handy. You can click View Info. Oh, there we go. And you can see what buffs and negatives they have. So they can give you extra carry weight, stamina, stability. They can also minus some stuff, and they can also increase, you know, let's say laceration protection, for example, on the mule here is 213, while on the beast it is 291, and on the centurion it's 193. So it really depends on your gameplay as well. But yeah, just keep an eye on that. I, as I said, recommend the Centurion armor, and I also recommend the Scythian 5, but it is up to you, and that's the fun of the game. The other thing is, when you're crafting, I recommend when you start early game, play around with the weapons, because when you craft them in the first base, they're very cheap, very easy to get, but just play around and see what you like, and then choose one that you want to build towards. I do not recommend building every single weapon, because what this does is it will take a lot of materials to do. They'll take hundreds of hours for each weapon, and then on top of that, it will probably burn you out because you're not advancing. So I would choose 1 to 3 weapons that you really enjoy and focus on crafting for those. So for like an assault rifle, maybe you want to go for the A545. There you go. Just craft everything up until there, and then once you hit endgame, you can always go back to the zones and craft everything else. If you really want to do it though, you could just do, once you get to the bar, craft all the blues, so that way you have all the weapons ready to go to craft further on. But it is up to you, but I would recommend don't do it because you will burn out big time. Now my next tip is going to be for the good old-fashioned auction house. So each area will have an auction house. You can click on him like this, go to auction, and this is where you can get, you know, containers, artifacts, armor, backpacks, and so forth. What I recommend is keep an eye out, because you might see an upgrade that you like, and you might even get a good deal. For example, this Aaron Jr. backpack here is selling for 400,000. Now, I have seen these sell for like 200,000. So you can always keep an eye out, buy it for 200,000 rubles, and then resell it or use it yourself. The other thing is artifact builds. So as you see, I have an Aaron Jr. backpack here, nothing crazy. Open this up, I do have some artifacts in here. I have the sticky burr, the crust, and the swamp rod. I've just chucked these in. This is nothing crazy. This is probably one of the worst builds ever. I just threw this in for a little bit of extra running speed and movement speed and stamina. But basically there are a ton of artifact builds out there that can improve your vitality, your movement speed, your stamina, your carry weight, that's a big one, bullet resistance, and so on. So just make sure you're looking up builds, because there is, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe there's a Stalzone artifact builder. There's a site that you can go on, put them all together, and then that way you're not wasting your time. Now just know that when you get closer to the end game, some of these artifacts are worth millions, so you'll be saving up a lot of cash to get them, so keep an eye out for that. Next big tip is bases. So let's talk about bases. Let's pop up the map real quick. Go zoom out. As you see, I am in the bar right now, but let's go down to the first base in the swamps here. The Stalker side has the boathouse, or not Stalker side, the Bandits have the boathouse, sorry, and the Stalkers have the Atamans HQ. What I recommend, especially in the first couple of areas, complete events, complete quests, side quests, main quests, do as much as you can, and get these leveled up to level 5. They'll make everything super cheap, they'll give you a lot of advantages, but the main reason is this: additional shelves in personal storage. Let me show you. If I go to personal storage, we have these shelves here, as you can see. If you have premium, you will automatically unlock number 9 to 14 here. Now, when you have these unlocked, like on my main, basically what will happen is you can do one for ammo, one for armor, one for weapons, one for artifacts, maybe one for bags of your killers you've killed in the open world, with their materials like this here, as you can see. But yeah, it's really up to you how you use your shells, but once you get those bases up to level 5, you will unlock more storage. And as you can see, you get quite a lot of storage. Indeed. Now, this one here is my next one on the, on the go. Once I get the bar to level 7, we'll unlock both of these, which is very nice. And then, as you go on through the story and zones, you'll unlock more of these. Overall, it's very, very worth it, and I highly recommend you do it, because at the end of the day, if you don't do it now, you'll be going back to the first zone to hit that level 5, so you can get that extra shelf. Next thing we'll talk about is premium. I'm not going to go too far into it. It's really up to you if you want premium, premium or not. I do have a video on this topic, so I'll link it in the description below. Go check that out where I talk about it and basically tell you if you need it or don't need it. It is an interesting video, so I highly recommend it. Next, we're going to talk about the Season Pass. So the Season Pass, each season, there's a new pass out. So once the 30 days here pass, a new season will come out. Now, as a new player, you actually have a pretty big advantage. As you play the game, clear events, level up your quests and so forth, you will get a load of points towards this season pass, and this top line here, you will get completely free of charge, which is really good. Some of these are good, like this barter coupon, 30% discount on resources on a Stalker rank armor. That's insane. This will save you a load of time, so I highly recommend when you're a new player, just keep going to the season pass and claiming everything you can get, because it will help you out big time. The other thing about the season pass is you can buy it and that'll unlock the bottom, but for the most part everything you need is on the top, so you can buy it if you want or not. And even like these weapons, you'll get them for free as well, so it is worth grinding. As you can see, there's some brigand armor suit. There's actually some old armor they always seem to throw into season passes, I notice, but yeah, it's still pretty good for your first, veteran armor if you had one. Now, my final tip for the video is just go out and have some fun. That's what Stalzone is. When I first originally played Stalzone, it did not look like this at all. It looked more like Minecraft. And yeah, you can even go back to my old videos on my channel and see what it looked like. I think I have some shorts of what it looked like as well. Maybe only a couple though. But yeah, it is crazy how it has changed and evolved and keeps changing. It is for the better though, I will say that. And the game is completely different than from when I originally started playing this many, many years ago. And oh, the creator of the game. Hello. Hello there. But yes, that is how it is. That is the video. If you'd like more tips and tricks, I can, of course, give you them. It doesn't take me too long. I might make one more video for beginner players, because there are a few tips and tricks that aren't told to newer players that I think I should probably cover. So I might do that in another video, so this video isn't going on and, turning into some crazy long video that no one watches. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and leave some comments below if you have any tips you'd like to see in that other video. Bye-bye!